Hello, this is Matt with remove-malware.com, and today I'm going to go ahead and take a look at Norton Internet Security 2010. If you're trying to get a demo copy of Norton Internet Security 2010, if you go to their site, they require a credit card, which is a little weird for me. They say you can cancel at any time, but I just didn't really like that. So what I did is I headed over to download.com and I just do a search for Norton. I think it's Norton just 2010. I'll just do that. And here we are, Norton Internet Security 2010. And all it wants is just, first name, last name. I'll just give them my Yahoo. Submit. And I'm able to download it right away. So this way I don't have to give them a credit card, which is pretty annoying. So I've already downloaded this before, that's why it was so fast. The installer is actually an 80 megabyte file, I think. Yeah, 80.6. So I can go ahead and close this. Let's head over to the install part, and I'll just go ahead and open it. And you see the Norton Internet Security 2010 installer interface. And I'll just go ahead and agree and install. And it's a beautiful installer. I mean, I love the way it looks. And you can see 8% complete, 10 compressed. It keeps going really, really fast. It's a pretty quick installer, less than a minute remaining. And the estimate, from what I can tell, is pretty dead on. It's a very fast installer. So the biggest thing in Norton Internet Security 2010 is Quorum. It's called Norton's Quorum, or Quorum, I don't know how you want to call it. But it's a technology that basically takes known good files and excludes them from having to be scanned. So if you've ever met somebody and they say, oh, I hate having antivirus on my computer, it just slows my computer down so bad. Well, with Quorum, what it'll do is it takes known good files submitted by millions of users and Norton's clean room technology, where basically the guys over at Norton or over at Symantec take a Microsoft operating system, install it, take a snapshot of it, and say, okay, these are known good files. They came off a DVD from Microsoft. And I'm sure they do a little more analyzing on them, but it's basically what it is. It's known good files are just not scanned at all, unless they change. And I'm not going to create a Norton account. You want to do this if you buy the product, but I'm just demoing it, so that's okay. Okay, so it says installation complete. You are about to experience the Norton Internet Security 2010. And by the way, when I say Norton Quorum, or the Quorum, it's basically called Insight. I don't know why they give them two different names. I guess Insight sounds better for people. Sonar 2, they've improved their behavior analyzer, and I got to see it in action today. The signature scanner set a file was perfectly fine. I was shocked because I knew it was a Trojan, and Sonar came back and said, no, this is not right. It's doing something to the system that is not, that doesn't look good. And then they say it's got better web protection with Download Insight and Safe Web. You don't really get to see that too often, but it will give you a report when you find a file that isn't safe, how it was classified as not safe. So right here, this is the interface. That's how fast it was installed. I'm going to go ahead, what I always do whenever I install any Symantec product, whether it's for consumer or for an enterprise, I always run live update. I always find that the live update process takes longer than actually installing the application, or it used to. I'm not sure how long it is now because I walked out of the room last time. So basically, this review is it's not overly complicated. You have one major upgrade, and it is major. The Norton Insight, or whatever they want to call it, quorum, application ratings. When you don't have to scan a file and you know the file is safe, and it's just awesome because you can take all that CPU and stick it somewhere else where you actually need it. You don't need to scan files that you know are safe. So that's the big old feature. And Sonar 2 is definitely welcome. And then you have the original signature scanners that Norton always has. I feel that those are going away in the future. I don't see them really putting much development into a technology that's just not up there anymore. You can't keep up with polymorphic malware and all the threats coming out every day. The Norton Quorum or Quorum is the only way to go, really, and something like Sonar 2. Now, if you follow my blog, it's at remove-malware.com. I've been testing this application for like 2 weeks, and I did get a rogue past it. It was a rogue that was released a few minutes. I basically found the link after it was released, so Norton had no clue about it at all. Didn't really do anything malicious, so Sonar 2 didn't pick it up. Basically, it was just an empty shell of an application with the means to steal someone's identity, because it basically told you that your computer was infected. It was a typical rogue antivirus. And the Norton Quorum came back and recognized it as an unknown file, but then did nothing with it, which was sort of weird to me. I just didn't understand that. If it was unknown, why would you let it, execute? So once I rebooted, that file was gone. So I'm not sure what happened there. I don't know if I looked in the quarantine, I didn't see it, so it was just off my system. So, and I rebooted a couple days later, so maybe the signature scanner caught up and got rid of it or something. Anyway, back to the major upgrade on 2010. If we click application ratings, it's looking at my computer, and you can see all the files that are listed in green are trusted, Norton trusted, and those will not be scanned. There's no reason to. Many users use them. When they say many users, I'm guessing close to 1 mil or more. Wants me to create an account. They love your Norton account. I have some files here. I am using this on VMware. They kind of trust these files, but not exactly. It is taking a look at my system right now, taking a look at all my files and scanning the entire system. It'll basically come back with all my files rated eventually, and it's actually done. So it's trusted 97% of the files on my system, and the antivirus scanner will only ever scan 3% of the files, and I would expect that to drop as the quorum gets more intelligent, gets many more users running VMware, and they know that it's safe and all that. So there's different scan profiles. If you take a look at the little eye, it explains it to you, because this is new to me too. So full scan means I don't care what you say, Norton. I don't trust anything. Go ahead and rescan my system. Might not be a bad idea if you've been modifying stuff a lot. Who knows? High trust, files at the high end of the good trust rating. They're indicated with a green highlight. And then standard trust, I must have skipped that one. Norton trusted files are excluded. So basically I just left mine on standard trust. And the only files that I'm really scanning are these right here. These are the processes. If I go to all files, this is a huge list, but it's probably the best way to show you how this works, because those were the processes that we were looking at before. and this takes a little while. Okay, not that long. But you see every single file on my system that it's basically looked at so far, and I think that's almost everything, because I have nothing on the system except Norton and the system. Now for a regular computer with lots of applications and things, this scan could take a while, I'm betting. So everything is Norton trusted because it's basically just an operating system file. And we've got a few files here that are not Norton trusted, but they're known to be good and have many users using them, so it's still going to go ahead and scan them, but it doesn't perceive them as a threat. And you can see I do not have any untrusted files. If I go over to untrusted, there's an empty list. So everything on my system is pretty much trusted, and those trusted files in green are not going to be scanned by the signature scanner. Thus, my CPU goes to things that are more important. So, you basically turned off your antivirus for the trusted part of your system, which is awesome. If you go into the rest of it, it's pretty much standard stuff. If you go into settings, you can take a look at all the stuff that you saw in the 2009 version. Looks about the same. The only thing that they never turn on, and I would always suggest everyone turn this on if you use this application, because I see many more people using Norton products now because they're so quick. I would turn on early load and hit apply. I know it slows down your boot a little bit, but man, that's very important, so keep that on. The rest of the settings, there's really not much to change. You know, you're scanning for compressed files. There's a limit on how deep you're going to scan. You're scanning for rootkits. You've got the Heuristics protection on automatic. Again, that kind of, to me, it blends in with sonar in a way. I don't really know how you would differentiate between the two. I don't think you ever would see a difference. It's all under the hood, mainly. You can go ahead and exclude different things. You know, if you're a developer and you want to exclude certain files from being scanned, you can do that. Norton, our Insight network is turned on. Real-time protection, that's turned on. You can go ahead and customize it. Now for Anti-Spyware, that'll give you a list of things to look at. Everything's checked by default. And sonar protection is on. Sonar advanced mode. You can go ahead and move it up to aggressive if you want. I wouldn't do that. Just keep it at automatic. I did that to aggressive and it caused some issues. So, and that's pretty much it. The rest of the stuff I really don't get into. It's more than network stuff. You've got like anti-spam, email, antivirus, instant messenger scan. That's definitely awesome. Intrusion prevention. I'm sorry. The intrusion prevention is pretty cool because let's say you have an application like Adobe, and Adobe comes up with a patch it seems like every week. So you have basically a system that is an application that is constantly flawed. Well, the intrusion prevention will take a look at the code, take a look at things that are trying to modify that application or trying to pass through Adobe into your system as an exploit and block it. I've only seen that once since I've been testing things, but it does work. So you can go ahead and configure program controls through the smart firewall. So you can go ahead and block something, allow it, give it a custom rule, which I could have used the other day, and I probably should have looked at that, but I didn't see that. So the next thing I'm going to do is pause the video, and I'm going to get some links, and we're going to try out some of the protection that I've seen here. So hang on a sec. Okay. Gonna make sure I'm back on here. Alright. Now I really wish that they would have moved this little program control thing out of the network part of this, so I would have used it. I didn't see it before. I'm referring to my blog post the other day. But anyway, now we've got some threats. We can take a look at Norton in action. The first threat is just a Trojan. It's been known to steal FTP passwords, and it's mainly responsible for a lot of legitimate websites being hacked. Now, I got these threats maybe an hour ago. I'm betting a couple of them don't work already, so I'll probably have to go get more. If I try to run it, Norton starts analyzing the file, automatically finds that it's a threat. You can view details to see more about this. And it was an info stealer, banker C. It says very few users use this. It's considered high risk. Gives you the origin, and it basically gives you the activity right there of the file. And it says the virus has been removed. So that's what's called file insights. You can take a look at, what was blocked. The next one is a exploit. These are always the worst because, they require really no interaction. You just go to these sites and, bang, you get infected. So the hard drive is just crunching away right now. We take a look at Task Manager. A lot of CPU going on right there. And to me, it felt like the way the hard drive's crunching away, it felt like it was actually installing. But in the very end, Norton blocks the site. And it basically says this web page has malicious browser exploits, which use vulnerabilities to get into your PC and all that other stuff. And I would say exit this site. And that's it. The next one is an executable. I believe this one, at the time, an hour ago, got past the signature scanner and Sonar stopped it. I don't know if that'll be the case now or not. Yes, this is a safe file. And I was floored. I couldn't believe it. But basically, they haven't had a chance to create a signature for this piece of malware. So you say, uh-oh. And then what happens is Sonar starts taking a look at the file. Says, hey, something's not right with this. So with Norton, you have multiple layers of protection. Sonar detected security risk in s1.exe. That is cool. I thought that was really cool. And it says Sonar has removed the security risk. Your computer is secure. It's exactly what Sonar was meant to do. When signatures can't catch up, Sonar walks right in and says no. Next one, I think, is just an exploit. Site is unsafe. You can click full report if you want, see why the site is unsafe. Total threats on the site, 2. Viruses, downloader, and Bloodhound exploit. Next one, I'm guessing it's just another exploit. it's taking a while to load. It's probably no good anymore. Let's try another one. Yeah, that one was dead. So here's our other one. Our PC is at risk of virus and malware attack. So a lot of people are used to seeing this fake computer scan thing. A lot of people think it's really their computer that's doing the scanning. It's nothing but a web page. You know, a typical user will say, oh, I need to remove these. My antivirus is telling me that. As soon as I did, a recent attempt to attack your computer was blocked. If I view details, gives you a lot of details right here. I was looking for what blocked it, but let's see. Yeah, risk name HTTP misleading application file download. Closing these things are always a challenge for regular people. Sometimes you can't close them, and what you'll have to do is end iExplore. Okay, next one. I think this is another rogue. Again, this is Antivirus System Pro. It's a nasty rogue because it shuts down a lot of executables on your system unless you go into safe mode with networking and get rid of it that way. But Norton saw right through it. If you view details, it's Trojan.fakeAlert. Access denied. File Insight says very few users, high risk. Next one, exploit. Now it looks like nothing's happening, but I'm pretty sure I remember this one firing up something later. But it's taking too long for me now, so. Yeah. This one looks like you loaded a site that didn't load, but actually in the background it was trying to attack your computer. Blocked, no action required. Gives you the IP address, type of traffic. And this right here is a rogue. It's a big rogue. It's a megabyte. And this one actually, I remember this. It sucked up a lot of my CPU just to analyze it. And I think the guys over at Semantics should take a look at this because I've had 3 or 4 threats today where my CPU just spiked for, I don't know, a minute and it looked like nothing was happening. It's just eaten the entire CPU just to scan this file. And this goes on and on and on. You can see CPUs at 100%. And this is the 4th time I've seen this today. And then that stuff down here goes away, the analyzing thing, but CPU from Norton is still pretty much pegged. And I know this is not an isolated incident. I've seen it on 3 different downloads, so maybe they have a hotfix out there or they're making one, I don't know. But if you were trying to use anything on your PC right now, you pretty much forget it. So I'm not pausing the video, I'm just showing you how long it takes for Norton to actually analyze this file. And I would like it to analyze the file. You know, obviously this is malware. I want it analyzed and removed. But man, you know, it take about a minute there on 100% CPU. My CPU drops after that. So a few details. Misleading application. Very few users, risk medium. That's it. So I had one question over at the Norton forums. Somebody asked me why I had 3 windows open for Norton. I had Norton Tasks, which I'm going to go over. So that's window number 2. And I think I had application ratings open, which is window number 3. So I don't know why they were wondering, but that's why you have multiple windows open. Not everything is contained in one window. So under Norton Task, you have some tasks that sometimes require manual execution, and sometimes they'll fire off when your computer's been idle for 10 minutes, 1 minute, 30 minutes, whatever you want. So if you want to run live updates from here, you can run them right now. So it just, fires off and that's it. We've already run an update, so we don't have to. If you want to scan your computer with Norton Insight and kind of look at your applications with the quorum scanner, basically, you can go ahead and fire that off. You can run full scans, quick scans, and optimizer, which I don't know what that is, 'cause I just never really get into the optimization stuff. I usually do everything by hand. So right now, quorum / insight is scanning my computer, scanning all my files. So I can just close that. And it basically has 3% of the files to scan. So the two best ways of protecting, the best ways that Norton Internet Security protects your PC, I think, in my opinion, would probably be Sonar 2 and Quorum, really. Now it's kind of hard because I haven't, in this review, I didn't really get to explain the untrusted files part because I really didn't have any. Norton was able to block everything. It's too bad because on my blog post I had maybe, I don't know, 5 or 6 untrusted files, and for me to get rid of them I had to reboot. I don't know why. I mean, they were able to execute and everything, even though they were untrusted. So I don't know why, when they come down as untrusted, they should just be locked down, not able to execute. So maybe someone can explain that to me, because that's one of my big questions. I couldn't find it anywhere on the forums, and just didn't see it anywhere, really. So someone on the forums suggested a reboot, and that's what I did today, a couple days later, and it actually got rid of everything as far as I could tell. So anyway, I have 2 more threats that I need to get. I'm going to go ahead and grab those. I'll be right back. Okay, I'm going to go full screen here. Looks like the the guest is locked up here. Hang on a second. Alright, we'll try to work around this. The first threat I have, it just came out a few minutes ago. So let's take a look at that. Okay, it says Soft 206 needs your attention. This is something different. Let's see what it says. Okay, this is interesting. Very few users, fewer than 10 users. Sonar picked it up and said, never mind, it's not doing anything. Files released less than a week ago, unproven, there's not enough information about this. Sonar detected a security risk. I think this is the same one that I was messing with a few days ago. Anyway, they must be on it now because it's gone. All right, let me grab another one, last one. I'll be right back. All right, here's another one. Ah, it's gone. Hang on. Okay, this is that Bravey IX or AX. I can't remember. This is an installer of some sort. Norton needs your attention. Uh-oh. Hang on, let me make sure I'm recording this. Yeah, okay. Looks like it's installing Antivirus 2010. Yeah, it actually installed Antivirus Pro 2010. So a rogue did get past pretty much everything. Interesting. So what I guess I could do, let's take a look at application ratings. Hasn't found anything yet. Well, it basically says very few users, trust level nothing. And that's the part I don't get about this. If it doesn't have a trust level, man, I wouldn't let it run at all, you know. It's just my opinion, because this is what's going to happen. So I'll get this fake Windows Security Center up. So let's go ahead and do what I did last time, and somebody suggested, was to reboot. Don't know why, but let's go ahead and try that. So, shut down, restart. And I'm not saying that's a great way to go. That's really lame if that's what you have to do right now. Yeah, if it doesn't have a trust level and there's very few users using it, man, just lock it down until you can confirm that it's a really legit file. You know, if you're a developer or something, I can see where that would be happening to you, but I doubt many developers would actually have this on their system anyway. This Norton Insight / Quorum, whatever you want to call it, this stuff is made for you know, home users. That's who's basically, you know, that's who's buying this application basically. So if it doesn't have a rating, you know, lock it down. Okay, it's starting up. So this review was sort of boring for me, but now it got more exciting. Still there. Of course, it loads before Norton does. Let's see. Hang on with me here. Let's see what happens. Still waiting on Norton. Oh, I haven't paused. Alright, they found 30 threats. So I've got Norton, no, I'm sorry, I've got Antivirus Pro 2010 and Norton Internet Security 2010 right next to each other. Let's go ahead and open up, shut up. This is the part that I was kind of complaining about on my blog. It needs to be really easy for people to say, I don't like this file, I know it's bad, I want to get rid of it. So what I have to do, I'm pretty sure, is click Settings under Network. Come down to, I think it's Application Ratings or something like that. Trust Control, Program Control. Let's try that. I'm going to go ahead and add. But see, the problem is they're not going to know exactly where that file is. I mean, I can see it's right there, but a lot of times they're hidden. So I could add this, and I want to say block. Close that. Let's try trust control, see if that's any different. Nah, that's for devices. Okay, well, there's really no way for me to kill it using Norton. You can see I can, you know, in this case I can find it. It's under program files. You know, not a big deal. If I right click and hit scan now, no virus or other security risks were found. Well, let's try something else. Let's try cranking up heuristics to aggressive. And I don't think this is going to work, but I'm just going to do it anyway. Sonar, I'm not going to touch. That's alright. So here we have program files. Let's go ahead and rescan it with the heuristics set to high. No, nothing. If I open up application ratings, boy, they don't quit with that, do they? And I want to check a specific file. Check trust now. Nothing really happens. Now I see a trust now button, but how about an untrust untrust now button? It says startup item no, but it is. So I don't know. There's a few things they could do to Norton 2010 to really make it really super tight. Like, you know, you've got a trust now button, but how about an untrust now? And once you untrust it, kill the process, quarantine it. I mean, that's the way to go, man. Instead, we're bombarded with this stupid Norton account stuff that I don't want to create right now. Untrusted files, nothing. Okay. I'm going to go into my Norton Tasks and run a Norton Insight scan. I'm going to pause it for a second be right back. Okay, I'm back. Let me make sure I'm on here, I think. Yeah, okay. I was trying to load the payment system on this Norton Antivirus 2010. It's just crashed. Or not Norton Antivirus. Antivirus Pro 2010. This Rogue. But, I let Insight run and do its scan and all that stuff. And Norton blocks the payment system, but not the actual application. Which is good. So it effectively, while it's still annoying this person on their computer, they can't pay for it. So it's a little bonus. But they need to have something in here where you can terminate a process. I'm kind of thinking of one I worked like recently like that, like Komodo. Komodo Internet Security allows you to, basically select a file and say it's untrusted, and kill the process and prevent it from doing anything ever again. So, and it does it by process. It doesn't do it by file, or you can do it by file. So that's cool. That's what they need in here. Something like that. So that's just my first look at Norton Internet Security. I might actually do another review on it once if they change anything on it or anything like that. So I thought it was pretty decent. It's awesome on how it basically only scans files that are untrusted. But as you can see in this case, this file has no trust rating at all, and it doesn't do anything with it, which to me is weird. They need to do something about that. So, let's face it, it kind of marred the review, right? Anyway. So you think, go ahead and leave your comments on the blog. If you want to go ahead and talk about it in my forums, I have some forums. It's remove-malware.com/forums. And that's about it. So I'm going to go ahead and upload this guy. I'll talk to you guys online. You can also go to my blog too. It's just remove-malware.com, and I answer comments on there a lot faster than I do on YouTube. So talk to you guys later.